Shalom to my brothers and sisters who are called the bride of the Lamb. And shalom, shalom to the scattered Hebrew Israelites who are at the four corners of the earth. For you are the bride of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom. Today I bring you a very short video that'll be straight to the point to prove to you of what Daniel chapter 7, verse 23 to 25. And the title of this video is Multiples of Sevens. The errors in the Gregorian calendar. Multiples of sevens. The Gregorian calendar errors. This will be quick and straight to the point, my brothers and sisters. For if you understand math, then you will understand this simple formula, and you will see the errors of the heathens. Let us begin. Multiples of seven. The Gregorian calendar errors. Everybody saying, what is Sister Years talking about now? If for those who kept a record of the Most High calendar, and you know the Most High calendar is made up of the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth, you would greatly see the errors that the heathens have done. I recommend that you at least go back 10 years. When you go back 10 years, write on the calendar what day of the sun it is and what day of the moon it is. And you will see the day when the heathens call it 365 is incorrect. For the Most High calendar will show you it's actually 366 days of the sun. So we'll see how this error is affecting you keeping the Most High holy days, as prophesied in the book of Jubilees. Read chapter 2 and chapter 6. For you Hebrew Israelites are keeping the Most High holy days on an ordinary day, on a profane day. See, if you follow Genesis chapter 1 verse 14, you will not fall in that error of the Gregorian calendar. So now let's begin. We're going to look at this chart. It says Yahuwah leap year of the sun versus the Gregorian calendar known as the fourth beast / Rome calendar. Here you see before you, I list the year and I list the column of the Most High Sun circuit. And I'm talking about the sun circuit. I'm talking about the sun's year. Another word for it is tropical year when you're actually looking at the sun circuit. And the next column you see is the fourth beast calendar, known as Rome. And below it, I list the year when the Roman calendar is claiming 366. And I'm showing you what the Most High is saying unto you, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles. For what you see before you is incorrect. The heathens got it all incorrect. For example, in the year of 2000, the heathen had 366 days for the sun. But when you compare it to the Most High calendar, and you know our year overlapped in their years from 1999 to the year 2000, the Most High said it was 365. Do you see the error? So they have you having the wrong day of the sun. And you're going to see why this is very important when you don't have the correct day of the sun. But the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth work hand in hand. Okay? And for those who say, well, what about the year of 2000 to 1999? It was 365 for that year too. Okay? Now, even above it, if you want to say 1998 to the year of 1999, for the Most High calendar, it was 365. All right? So now we're going to look at in the year of 2003, 3 years later now, in the Most High calendar, we get 366 days. But the heathens get 365 days in the year of 2000. Now, the reason why I had numbered the Most High calendar from 2002 to 2003, because February of 2003 ended that year. Okay? So whether you look above or below that year, I'm telling you, the numbers will not always match up. Okay? You're going to see some differences between the heathen's calendar and the Most High calendar because they do not follow Genesis chapter 1, verse 14. For the word said, the lights in the firmament of the heavens shall be for signs, for seasons, for days, and for years. Okay? So Let us keep going because now we're going to go down into the meat where you can see what I've been telling you. They are like a day behind. Now, I only have from the year of 2000 to 2016, but when you look in the prior years above, you're going to see that they are really a day behind. That means a day behind the sun's year. Their calendar is a day behind the sun year of the Most High calendar. Now, when you look at the year of 2004, the heathens say it's 366 days, but the Most High say no, it's 365 days. And 3 years later, in 2007, the heathens say it's 365 days, but the Most High say no, it's 366 days. And it goes on and on and on. So take this time now to pause your screen and you'll see the difference. Okay? And I did forget in this blog, and you'll have access to this note too. In this blog of the year of 2016 of the Most High calendar for the sun, it would be 365. 365 days. But for the heathens, they claim it was 366, which is incorrect. Okay? Do you see the great error they have you in, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles? So the next thing you're going to probably say, well, what does that mean? I mean, how does it affect the days of worship? It does. If you keep a record of the sun, moon, and Mazarah, okay, your record should show that. Your whatever calendar format you are using, because I know all of y'all don't agree with me with the format I'm using, but I'm following what the prophet Ezekiel told us and what the prophet Enoch told us in his first and second book, with the book of Jubilees, even Josephus and the 1611 Bible, and there's many other sources. I can keep going on and on. Okay? Even the works of follow. Okay? So whatever calendar format you're using, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles, it should include the days of the sun, the days of the moon, and Mazarah. Okay? And you will see why. See, when you what you see before you is a table of multiples of 7. Even in the Gregorian calendar, if you go down each column, the number should be in what? Multiples of 7. And you'll see what I mean. Let's look at Tuesday on the heathens' day, which is day 3 of their week. Okay? As you can see here, the sun, it is the first day of the sun. And on this particular day, the moon became its third day. But let me back up. Let me back up to the beginning so you can see how this is flowing. When you look on the heathen's day on day 1, which is known as Sunday, the sun, on that day, the sun was in its 365th day. And the moon on that day, it was the first day of the moon. Okay? So do you see the relationship? We're getting a pattern established. Once you know what day of the sun it is, and once you know what the day of moon it is, you will see a pattern established in your calendar, and it should be in multiples of 7. So on Sunday, which is the first day of the heathen's week, the sun was in its 365th day, and the moon was in its first day. On Monday, which is day 2 of the heathen's week, the sun was in the 366th day, and the moon was in its second day. Now we're going to look at Tuesday. So therefore, because this is the last day of the sun, it starts all over. And remember, the sun total days can be 365 or 366. So you're probably asking, what is the big deal when they leave out a day of the sun? It's very big because once we review these columns, you're going to see the great error. So on Tuesday, the day of the sun was the first, and the day of the moon was the third. So when you go down the column on Tuesday, this should be in multiples of 7. Okay, for the day of the sun, what is 1 plus 7? It's day 8 of the sun, right? And what is 8 plus 7? It's day 15 of the sun. For the moon, what is 7 plus 3? We get 10. And 7 plus 10, we get 17. And this format should continue down the column until the months start over for the sun and the moon. And that's what I mean. It has to be in multiples of 7. And this format is continuous. Now, this is what happens. When the heathens eliminate a day of the sun, guess what? They will cause you to skip a whole day. That's what they're doing. For example, let's say they didn't include the 366th day of the sun. What would happen on this day, they would have the day 2 of the moon to fall on day 1 of the sun. And that's incorrect. Do you see right now about this relationship between the sun, the moon, and even Mazzaroth? It's very important that you get this understanding correctly, my brothers and sisters. So if the heathens didn't include the 366 day of the sun, what will happen is these numbers to your right will slide over. And it will cause the second day of the moon to be on the first day of the sun, which is incorrect. Because the second day of the moon should have fallen on the 366 days. This is why what Jubilees was telling you, if you continue to follow the heathens and their calendar, and this includes their monthly format, their weekly format, and their yearly format, you would never get the correct holy days, my brothers and sisters. And I'm asking you to seek the Most High. Seek Him for His understanding. And I have the next question I need to ask you. What day of creation did the moon, the sun, and Mazzaroth started? It started in day 4, but what year? Because we know 1,000 years is like a day unto the Most High. So the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth started on the first day of the 4,000th year. The first day on the 4,000 year. And the proof of this can be found in Genesis chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and chapter 5. Because what day was Adam created? The 6th day, which is the 6,000 year of creation. And when did he die? He died in the 6,930th year because he was 930 years old. The 6,930th year. He was 70 years short from the 1,000th year, which would be the 7th day, known as the 7,000 year of creation. Remember what the words say? That if he should eat of that fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, he would die in that day. So for those who's looking at the days of creation as a 24-hour basis, you are in error. Because when you read those chapters I gave unto you, you will learn that Adam did die in that day, but not in a 24-hour period. He died within a 1,000-year period. So again, if you continue to follow the heathen format of this calendar, you're going to be in error, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles. But the heathens are eliminating the days of the sun. And because they're eliminating the days of the sun, it's throwing off the relationship between the sun and the moon, and it's throwing off the multiples of 7. And this is not the only error, my brothers and sisters, I have found with the Gregorian calendar. So you have to study the history of the ancient Roman calendar, the Julian calendar, what Constantine did, and what the Pope did. And they would tell you their calendar format is not accurate still because it does not align with the heavens. So, Hebrew Israelites and Gentiles, you are worshiping the Father on the incorrect day. You are worshiping the Father on an ordinary day instead of a holy day. Read Ben Sira, chapter 17. I'm going to see, can I find that verse for you now? Because I got to find it, my brothers and sisters, because it's in my mind to show it unto you. But to get more understanding, I was telling you about multiples of 7. Watch this, because do you know what the first day and the 7th day of the Gregorian calendar? Watch this video, which is titled, what is the first and 7th day in the Gregorian calendar. And in that video, it's going to give you other videos to watch to get a more understanding of the errors that these heathens have made. For they have you truly not keeping the correct holy days. But let us go to the King James 1611 Bible. Just bear with me. It's moving a little slow. There we go. Now we're going to go to Ben Sira. Let me go to the 1611 tab. Sorry, I forgot I had to do that piece. But let me go to Ben Sira. which is known as the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. And we're going to go to chapter 17. And let me see, can I find the verse first? I'm going to go ahead and click on the picture so we can get the precepts of that verse. Yeah, it's in this book here. Because it's letting you know that he does have a preference. Do you know he had a favorite flower, my people? He have a favorite nation that he favors. And when you read the other sacred books, like the Book of Jubilees, this is why they took it out, because they didn't want you to know who are the Gentiles and who are the Israelites. They didn't want to know. They didn't want you to know what nation of people the Most High favor, and it's the reason why. It's not that. See, y'all get caught up in these emotions and what the heathens have taught you by their philosophies and doctrines, but you don't know and understand the Most High. You don't really know Him. But when you read the Ben Sirah chapter 17, you begin to understand. See, because when 17, verse 17, it says that for the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people, but Israel is Yahuwah's portion. So that's one proof. Let me see, can I find the verse about this, that he has no favors, he has favorite things he prefer. Let me see here. I don't think that's it. I gotta find it because it's in my mind to get it for you, my brothers and sisters. So but Ben Sirah chapter 17 is a good book to read. I'm going to find that chapter for you. If you hold on for me for 1 minute, I'm going to get that chapter for you. Okay, my brother and sister, I found it. It's in Ben Sirah, but it's chapter 33. And also it talks about the sons and daughters of Adam too in that chapter. So let us go there now. And I do apologize about that. And it's in Ben Sirah chapter 33. And we're going to go to verse 8 and 9. I'm going to click on that picture there because I want to see if it's in the precepts to those verses. Okay. And we'll go to verse 8 and 9. Here we go. Get my cursor just right. Okay, verse 8. By the knowledge of the Most High. Oh, let me go a little above. Verse 7. Why do one day excel another day, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? So what it's saying here, why is one day more important than another day? Or why is one day holy than another day? Okay. Well, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun. Okay. Because the sun dictates to us when the day begin to end. Okay. Let's keep going. Verse 8. By the knowledge of Yahuwah, they was distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them have he made high days and holiday, and some of them have he made ordinary days. And that's a precept too. I think it's a precept the first time. I just click on it. Okay, no, it's not a precept, but it's giving you more information about a certain word that was used in that verse. But you can come back here and review this, and I am going to put this in the Google document so you can have access to this link. So it's proven to you that when you look at the days of the sun and in multiples of 7, some of the days of the sun is a holy day, okay? Just like in the days of the moon, some of the days of the moon is a holy day, and some of their days are ordinary days. And your next question is, what determine what day of the moon and what day of the sun is holy? Again, you're going to have to watch those videos, but I'm telling y'all the answer in Genesis chapter 1:14, in the book of Exodus, in the book of the prophet Ezekiel, he tells you, in the book of Ben Sirah, chapter 43, and even in the gospel is proof there, my brothers and sisters. But you're going to have to seek the Father for the answer, because I know many of y'all have not agreed with me, but the evidence is there. I mean, it's the proof in the heavens. is the proof. And again, when you look at this chart of multiple sevens, it's showing you that when the heathens don't have the correct days of the sun, whether it's 365 or 366, it would throw off the day of the moon. In other words, it won't be in the correct multiple as 7. They have a relationship. So again, look at this. Take this time now to pause your screen and look at these columns. Because like I said, when you go down, when you look at the sun, you have day 2 to sun, and you add 7 to 2, it's 9. When you have you add 7 to 9, it's day 16. Same thing with the moon. It's 4. When you add 7 to 4, it's 11. Add 7 to 11, it's 18. But notice the relationship. Once you get that first day of the moon and you see what day it should fall on with that sun for that month period, it should flow in sevens. Okay, when you go down the column. But when they leave off a day of the sun, it throws that whole relationship off, which is incorrect. And another proof of what I'm talking about, for those who have read the Dead Sea Scrolls, you begin to understand why they wrote the days of the sun with the days of the moon. All right, and I said enough, talked enough, but this is something for you to seek out the Most High for His answer and His truth about the calendar, from the weekly format to the monthly format and to the yearly format. Okay, because I'm stressing to you, this is the appointed time for His truth to come forth. He did put a curse on Israel, but now He's bringing Israel, who are the Hebrew Israelites, who are the descendants of Negroes. He's bringing y'all back into His truth, okay? And He's showing you what the fourth beasts have done. Now you shall begin to get a greater understanding of the importance of the new covenant, because those who trying to keep the old covenant, you're going to fall short. But those who embrace the new covenant, you shall still fulfill Torah. You shall still fulfill the Tanakh. You shall still fulfill the law, because now you are worshiping Him in spirit and in truth. And all your sin of ignorance are covered, because He know what the fourth beast would do. He know what the Romans would do. He know what the heathens would do. But little did they know, He had a better way for us. All right, let me shut up. Okay, continue to preach the gospel. The kingdom of heaven is at hand, my brothers and sisters. Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10, and baptize them in the name of Yahushua HaMashyach, for the Lamb set the example of the water baptism and the Holy Spirit baptism. And the apostles continued them both. For we have 3 witnesses in heaven and 3 witnesses in the earth. For the carnal go hand with the spiritual. A mission that many do not understand. Okay, please, I stress again, preach that gospel that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. For we are in the 7th day from Adam, which is the 12,000 year from creation. We are in that season, and we know that Messiah can return at any day, any hour, any week, any month, any year. For we are in that season. We are in the 7th day of Adam. Shalom. And do you know who that peace that's with you? Think about it, my brothers and sisters. Read Matthew chapter 28, verse 20. For that peace is the destroyer of chaos.